So the first sections we're going to be going over are the dashboard, sales and catalog, and customer sections. We're going to be skipping mobile because this course is not going to focus on creating a mobile version of your site. So what you'll notice about the dashboard is that its main purpose is to just give you information. In fact, you can, if you have multiple stores, you can see those stores individually, as well as which store between your different languages. Let's see, we have by default an English, French, and German store, which one is getting what kind of sales. So by default, this is set to all store views. However, you can dial that down if you want to see more specifics. This section on the left is going to show you your lifetime sales, now average orders, last 5 orders, last 5 search terms, top 5 search terms, and on the right, we have your order graph, which will show an actual graph of orders over the past 24 hours. You can widen this to be year to date, 2 years to date, current month, last 7 days, and you can even see amounts. This at the bottom gives you quick access to your revenue, tax, shipping, and how many items have been sold. We also have your most viewed products, your best sellers, new customers, and just customers. So since this is just a demo store, we don't have a ton of information here yet, but once you start selling products, this information is going to populate and this dashboard is going to become more and more useful. So next we have sales. Under sales, there's all sorts of great information of things that you're going to want to know. First we have orders. So every time an order comes into your store, it's going to be populated here. Next we have invoices. Once you have your product pulled and you make it into an invoice, it's going to show up in here. This way you can keep track of what's been invoiced, what hasn't, and then of course shipments is going to be which products have shipped. This way you can quickly get to any of this information if you want. You'll also notice that you can sort by the shipment number, date shipped, order number, order date, or shipping name just by clicking on any of these columns. Now, we won't notice anything yet, but once we start placing orders on our fictional site here, we'll see this start to populate, and this sorting is going to be more and more useful. You can also bulk create PDFs and print shipping labels. However, we're going to go into that in more detail once we go over the order process itself. Next, we have credit memos. This is if you're going to be crediting somebody. This is going to show up in here. All of these things you can do from the order itself, which again, we're going to go over once we place an order. Now we also have transactions. We have reoccurring profiles, which let's say if you have a customer who's going to be reoccurring every single month or every 2 weeks ordering the same thing, you can set them up. We also have billing agreements and terms and conditions here. If we want to add a new terms and conditions, you can add your condition name, you can enable it, and you can give it its content here. We're going to go over these all in more detail. This video is really just an overview of what exists in this section. So we also are able to manage our tax rules. So there's all sorts of great stuff for tax rules here. You can get a look at some of their default ones in here. However, we're going to go over setting up tax in section 6 of this video series. So don't worry about if you understand these or not. Feel free to poke around and see exactly what's here. Also, next on the list is we have catalog. So catalog is where you're going to be managing anything related to your products. So this is going to be your products, your categories, and your product attributes. So if we manage products, you'll see all of the products we have. By clicking on these, it takes you to the actual product edit screen. Now if we go back, we can go to manage categories. We can see furniture, electronics, and apparel. This will mimic the front navigation of our site. In section 3, we're going to show you how to create new categories and manage all of these. Next, we have attributes. Notice how we have manage attributes and attribute sets. An attribute is something like a color or a size, where an attribute set is a group of attributes that you would use on a product. For instance, a t-shirt might have color and size, where a coffee mug wouldn't have those same attributes. So you would make an attribute set for t-shirts or coffee mugs, or basically any general category. This way, when you create products, Magento knows what sort of attributes to assign to that product. Next, we have URL rewrite management. Every single time you create a page, it creates a request path and a target path. Now, in the instance where you're creating paths and something isn't quite right, let's say you've created a path, you've deleted something, and then you've created another product with the same name, the path might get a little bit messed up. So you can come in here and modify the URL rewrite. Now, if we go to search terms, you're going to see the most recent search terms starting at the very most recent. And these are pre-populated because these are built in to the data that we installed when we installed the Magento. It also put some search terms so you could see these in action. You'll notice it says that test has been searched. It has 8 results, and it has been searched 654 times. This is really great data because you know what people are looking for on your site. This can allow you to change the words in your product descriptions or product titles to allow for people to find them easier through the search. Next, we have reviews and ratings. As you would expect, you can manage your reviews and ratings here. Notice how you can go into pending reviews, and once there is a pending review, it will show up here, and you'll be able to approve it to show up on the site. We also have tags. Products can be tagged by all sorts of things. If you notice, here's all of our tags. Also, customers can tag your products. When a customer tags your products, it goes into pending tags. We could then come in here and approve them or delete them based on how relevant those tags are. Next, under Google Sitemap, this allows you to create a sitemap so that Google can easily find your site and then submit it using something like Google Webmaster Tools. Last on this tour, we're going to take you to customers. As you can imagine, this is where you're going to be managing your customers. If you click Manage Customers, you'll see that John Doe is an example here. Here we can go in and change some of John Doe's information. Let's say he wanted to modify his email address or his normal address. You could do it for him if he did not want to do it himself. You could also set up customer groups. Notice how we have general, not logged in, this QAAA, retailer, and wholesale. You could come up with your own customer groups and then be able to assign pricing based on those customer groups. Now, we also want to see online customers. You'll see everyone that's on your site currently. It's going to give you their IP address, and if they're logged in, it's going to give you their first name, last name, and email. So this way you can monitor who's on your site currently. So that's it for these sections. In the next video, we're going to go over promotions, newsletter, CMS, and system. In the last video, we're going to go over this very deep configuration menu. Then we're going to show you how to create users and permissions and then change your theme.